Let's
I
find
saw
out.
you. Okay, I saw you pour your 7 up. So now it's that time. A couple podcasts ago, we were talking about. I shared my stories of pooping my pants in my lifetime, and we were saying we want people to write us. Oh, there's a little poop there. Look at that. That looks like a big fat cigar poop.
Those are good, right? Like, especially
Yeah, I don't know about the
ones.
poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had, I shared my stories, Matt shared a story, and then we told people, please email me. Only one brave soul. I told you guys on last week's podcast, one brave soul wrote me back. Family member of mine. Matt does not know who this is yet. What I'm going to do is read the email that this family member sent me, and then I will reveal who it is.
Oh,
even
yes. They allowed you to do this, or
well,
it's going to do it?
They don't know yet, but yeah. But it's our family, and we don't care. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they don't
find out.
care. Okay, so here it is. On Tuesday, March 11, 2025 at 9:37 a.m.
This is so recent.
No, listen, this person wrote, when my wife and I, now this is a family member of ours, when my wife and I were dating, we were heading to a leadership meeting, and we stopped off at Wendy's to grab a quick dinner and grab some 4 for 4s, as college kids did when we were sitting there eating. And I do the common lift the cheek to let it out thing, and I thought it was going to be silent, and I released and completely shit my pants. And I immediately jumped up and ran to the bathroom and had to clean myself up. Then I remembered someone telling me a story about when they shit their pants, they threw their boxers in a trash can. So that's what I did. And I walked out and sat down, and my wife was kind of laughing, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I crapped my pants," trying to be kind of quiet about it, and then just start eating my food. And the next thing I know, she's on FaceTime with her sister telling her how I crapped my pants in Wendy's and dying laughing. I was so embarrassed. And she was like, "No family," which is she was like, "No, my family always jokes about this stuff. It's okay, blah, blah, blah." But now looking back on it, it does crack me up now. Just the fact that her first response was, to call her FaceTime sister and stuff. And that's something anybody would get. I know.
Well, that's tough because obviously this is somewhat recent because FaceTime was involved. This isn't like back in the 80s.
It wasn't years ago, which means it's a younger family member.
And you also said something about college, and there's not a whole
leadership.
Leadership. Okay.
Church. Yeah. Religious.
Wait, I have some people in the audience that have suggestion. What is your guess? Okay.
Was that Lee?
That's my mom and Lee, and they think it's my nephew Peyton.
Oh, you guys, you're gonna die when I tell you it. It's Alex Marshall. Little Alex.
Well, Peyton, if you're watching, we're really sorry about what your Nana thought.
Okay, Alex, you've just been outed, but hey, it's okay, brother, because Matt shared his, I shared mine. You're our blood. We love you, and thank you for sending that.
And I have 2 more.
You have short stories?
Well, actually, they pertain to poo. They're not shark stories.
Am I ready for my shark theme song for our segment?
Absolutely. You got to finish that off. And thank you, Alex, for sharing. That was amazing.
This morning, feeling no shame. Last night at the church, playing wicked games. Put on my Sunday best.
Listen close.
On my breath, heading down the aisle, looking like a mess. Oh, sweet Lord, forgive me for my sins. Dancing with the devil.
Wait for it.
Yes, I'll never win. Started in my Sunday best.
How appropriate.
Well, listen what he says.
Holy water ain't gonna clean.
Holy water ain't gonna clean it.
Dirty stain from my blue
Jane. That's a good one. That was a great song.
Yeah.
Started in my, what do you say? Started in my what?
Sunday best. So, I mean, how appropriate was that? It was before leadership,
What
I'm
I think
still
is it was
really-
fucking
I'm
hilarious.
still cracking up that my mom just outed her grandson. That's who she thought it was.
Wait, who'd you? Oh, Peyton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how about mom? Come on, Aunt Wendy. What's your poop your pants story? I know you got one.
Well, we are filming from here, so if you look her up, she might tell you a good one. Because
Okay, wait till I come. Wait till I come, though. It'll be more fun. We'll put her on there. Okay, so you. Oh, you had a short story. You had another.
Well, it's a poo related story, and
Okay,
I thought about it
related's
the other
good.
day. And ironically, you're involved, and I don't know if I even shared
geez.
it with you, or if you remember if I did, but you were living in Hollywood, and I think I flew down there. And
Matt, you should ask me about this before you just start talking. What
Don't
is it?
worry.
I'm
It's
scared.
It's not like it's about me, so don't worry about it. You were just
It was in Hollywood.
well. I flew down to your place in Hollywood, and you were driving back up to the Bay Area, so I rode with you. And when we left Hollywood, we both were extremely hungover, and we stopped at some gas station along the way off of Highway 5 somewhere. And I used the restroom, but I did my business, and it was nasty. You know, it was day after drinking kind of thing. And I leave the restroom. I walk all the way across the store, hungover, tired. And as I'm about to walk out of the gas station, I feel something swipe my butt crack, and I'm like, "What was that?" And I turned around, and somehow, when I lifted up my pants, I grabbed the toilet paper roll, and it got stuck in my ass, and I dragged it all the way through the store of this
One
gas
of life's
station.
most embarrassing moments for sure.
Yeah, it was probably like 30 yards worth of toilet paper strung out throughout the gas station, and
That's like walking out of that ass
felt it
gasket
violate
thing.
my butt crack, and it was like, what was that? And then I turned around and was like, run, just leave now. They probably have video footage, and they sat there after work laughing their ass off. Look at this guy.
Who's that, Mom?
Yeah. We got an audience tonight.
I love it. It's good to have an audience. And now we're going to jump into something really interesting here I thought you'd enjoy. Strange things found in hotel rooms.
You're going to freak me out. You know, I stay in a hotel at least a couple days a week.
No, dude, these aren't that bad, like creepy, but weird, right? So these are little stories of people who work in hospitality, work in a couple of hotels. And I've only got like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. But here's the first one. And this is what they said. I saw a foreigner who was staying with us in the hotel in the hall and asked him if I could help him. In broken English, he said, ass. I said, excuse me? And again, he said, ass. Not sure what he wanted. I kept walking and he followed me saying, ass, ass. Finally, I realized he wasn't trying to solicit me and that he was looking for the ice machine. Ice. Hey, imagine the foreigner behind me. He's like, ass, ass. Yeah, and she's like, "Stop looking at my ass."
Or you know, if that's what you're looking for, you know, just a couple blocks over, ask for Tina to hook you up.
Tina or Margot.
Yeah.
This guy who works in a hotel says, for me, it would be about 16 gallons of urine stashed underneath the bed we found while cleaning. It was stored in tons of plastic water bottles, varying different brands like Polished Springs or Dasani. Once I also found 16 severed fingers in a trash can in a guy's room. You don't believe
That's
him?
a crime. That's a crime. You happen to have 16 fingers.
He just found the fingers.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you gotta know that they find the weirdest. You gotta know that they find the weirdest shit in the world in hotels when people leave. I clean vacation rentals sometimes and I find weird shit, and I'm like, what are they doing with this?
What about like haunted rooms though?
Well, when I was with the band in Nevada when they did the El Capitan, that old fucking house we stayed in was freaky as fuck, and I felt like they made me sleep in this room where my bed was right here against the wall, right? But then there was a little door, like a little Mrs. Winchester door. And I'm like, where does that go? And why is it next to my head at my bed? I felt like something's going to come out of there in the middle of the night, especially after all those Paranormal Activity movies.
So a few months ago at work, I changed routes. I go up north now instead of going out to Reno work. And I'd worked up here years ago, but there was a particular room where 2 different times staying in this room, middle of the night, around like 2, 3 a.m., which if anybody knows, they consider that the witching hour.
Right.
The TV would just turn on by itself. Super weird. And also when it would turn on, it would just be static, like 1980s cable done, just static, right? Like TVs don't do that anymore. And it's like Poltergeist, right? First time I didn't think that much of it. Like, oh, that's weird. Like I thought maybe remote from the next room turned it on or something. And then it happened again. And I thought about it later. I'm like, that was the same room. That's kind of weird. That was like 6 years ago. And then a couple months ago, I started working this route again. And I'm working with a guy. And I said, oh, I stayed up there before. It's the same hotel, right? He goes, yeah. Don't stay in 206, though. That's a haunted room. I'm like, the TV still turns on? And he goes, yeah, you know about that? I'm like, it's been doing that for as long as I can remember. And even when you check in, they're like, oh, you don't want 206? And they'll be like, unplug the TV and see if it still turns on. I bet you it will. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that.
So are you telling me that you are an avid believer of paranormal activity of sorts?
There's not much that I don't believe in. And at the very, very bottom.
I love the way you started that answer. Yeah.
The very bottom of things that I believe in is motherfucking Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. And that is at the very top of my life.
You don't. You believe in Bigfoot.
She's way up there, dude. She watches that Bigfoot documentary all the time. It cracks me up. But she's like, no, watch. Look what they found. Look at the heat sensors on the camera. And I'm like, I mean, I believe in aliens, ghosts, all that kind of stuff. But Bigfoot, I just feel like he's big. He's got big feet. Like, we should see him by now, right?
Yeah, when I went to Scotland, it was all about the Loch Ness Monster. And we visited the castles. And they're like, oh, the Loch Ness. And I'm like, no, they really, like, it's a big thing there. Like, it's supposedly they believe that.
That's like number 4 on my list. So I'm higher on Loch Ness than I am Bigfoot.
Okay. I wonder, do you have a Bigfoot? Okay, this guy says he's not a worker.
On a good day.
This guy says he's not a worker of the hotel business, but he used to travel for work. Once we were checking into our rooms and a coworker and I were going into her room. She opened the door and there were 2 people living in the room. They were prostitutes who were friends with the housekeeper. They were given keys to use the room. So imagine, well, he was with his wife, right? But imagine you get your room key and there's 2 prostitutes living in there and you're like, no, you're all right. I'll squeeze in here. We'll be good. Like going to the shelter's old room at the Holiday Inn. Who said that? I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Talking about traveling, you know, my brother DJ used to travel quite a bit with his job years ago. And I don't know how the subject came up, but since we talk about poo and poo related things all the time on here, I was telling him, like, dude, have you ever
been the poo guy?
Right. But I said, but have you ever been in like a public restroom and then the person in the stall next to you blows it up so bad that you're trying like just not to laugh because you're like, oh, dude, like I'm like, I said, I've laughed so hard that like I had to wait for them to finish and like leave the bathroom because I'm like, dude, I was laughing like a child because this guy was blowing up the toilet. Well, DJ tells me that he was at some type of like convention. He goes to the bathroom and the guy next to him is really, you know, beating up that toilet. And then he hears him say this, ouch.
Oh, God.
And I don't know why that story has stuck with me forever. Listening to a guy say ouch on the toilet next to you, it's like hilarious to me.
I know that if I'm in a stall and somebody's having major diarrhea next to me or something and it's like really rank, I'll do this. I'll be sitting there and I'll go,
right.
You know, to myself. Right.
I'll record it and then send it to you for the podcast.
Please don't. People do weird things. So I remember when I used to have a personal trainer when I worked at the Kimmel Show across the street. I had a personal trainer I'd go to at 3:00 and he whooped my ass until I went and did the show every night. But I looked great in my suit. So yeah. But, there was a guy that would run on the treadmill next to me, this black guy, and he'd have his headphones in and stuff, but he'd be like, come on, yeah, come on, you can do it. And I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? It's so annoying. Everyone would look over and go, what is wrong with this? People do weird shit like that in public places, like gyms, everywhere, right?
Now, my only problem with that story is why did you have to tell me the color of the guy on the treadmill? Why can't he just be a guy on a treadmill, Judd? Like,
Because in fact, the individual doing this was black.
come on, motherfucker, get it going. Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of what he was doing. Oh my God. Let's look at our last thing they found in the hotel. So this is a hotel thing here. I heard a most blood-curdling of screams coming from the rooms. I ran up and found a very traumatized housekeeper. She flicked the bedding and to change the bed. She flicked the bedding to change the bed. Unbeknownst to her was a used condom. This flicked up in the air and landed on her head. She was frozen in fear and screaming. I had to help her by picking it off her head. Understandably, she had the rest of the day off. So if you want to know, that's pretty gross, right? That's like what's that movie? Mary with Ben Stiller. Remember?
Yeah, that's classic, though.
The semen in the head.
Is that hair gel?
We have a guy at work that constantly comes to work with semen on his t-shirt and shit. And we're like, dude,
what do you mean? You just said
like,
that super casually.
It'll be like on the back of him when we're like, dude, check your shit before you put on. It's like these kids, they wank it and they leave their shit next to them. They just wake up and put it on. I'm like, dude, do what everyone else does and use a nice crunchy sock. Use a crunchy
work
sock.
With gym crusties on you,
dude. There's 2 employees that have done that, and we're like, dude, what are you doing?
Hey, from now on, you snap pictures of that, and then we need to talk about that. It'll be
actually
a crime scene, and we'll break it down and be like, well, showing the trajectory, he clearly was a stand-upper. And,
okay, Dexter.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's funny, and I won't say his
Splatter
name, but it's
analysis.
funny. He's done it twice, and I'm like, dude, you need to check your shit before you go to work. So Matt and me were talking about this before we started the podcast tonight. Haley Joel Osment, you remember the little kid from Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
There he is there. Little kid, I see.
So innocent.
So innocent. I'll let you fill in America on this. I'm sure some of you have seen it.
Okay, so I mean, I read about it. So apparently he was at some ski resort and he was skiing at the same time, meaning he was using cocaine. And
Right.
He got arrested for public drunkenness and they found cocaine on him. And then when he was in the car, he told the cops, he called one of them a Nazi and he called the other one some kind of racial slur.
Yeah, he said, I've been arrested by a Nazi or whatever.
Yeah, and the other one was, a slur for a Jewish person.
What trips me out is look at he was so adorable. Look how adorable. He was a little kid. He was cute and everything. And then look at him now. And you're like, dude.
He's still adorable. He's up there on the slopes doing coke. Good for him. He's living his life, bro.
Okay, so I'll bet you don't know this because I threw this in just for you. In real life, this is his sister. And I don't know if you know her.
No,
You should
I know.
recognize.
I watched the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right. Because a lot of people don't know that's his sister.
I know.
And she is on Young Sheldon.
Attractive. Yeah, well, they have the new spin-off of Georgie
right. You are correct.
Not as good.
She was on another show me and Dalton watched way before that hit, and we liked her on that. But I did not know that was his sister until then.
I knew that.
I did pull up a picture of some other celebrities and their siblings, and only because they were weird, and so they were interesting to look at. So Ariana Grande and her brother is freakazoid here. There he is. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I wonder if he has Ariana Grande too. Couple Canadian bacon nips.
Canadian bacon nips. He definitely has Ariana. Look at his face. No, that's scary.
Yeah.
So that's her brother. But hey, even worse, this one cracked me up. So, and I don't even like this punk ass, but Jonah Hill and his sister.
Oh, I knew about that one. Yeah.
You did know about that?
Yeah. She was on the Neighbors, one of those movies, the first one or the second one.
No way.
Yeah.
You mean the Neighbors with Will Ferrell in them?
No. Zac Efron and.
Oh, right. I stand corrected. You are correct.
Correct.
Okay, and then we got this tripped me out a little bit too because I didn't realize they were brothers, Seth Meyers and this guy. And actually, they look almost exactly alike.
Right. But one was on the 70s show, and he was Randy.
Oh, he was the one that came later.
Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, when it didn't work.
Kelso, get out of here.
Yeah, when it didn't work. That show is not good.
No.
But then this is interesting too.
Is
So
it?
Liv Tyler and Mia Tyler learned they were sisters at Father Stephen's Aerosmith concert. It was really weird. So they didn't find out they were sisters until they were at their dad's concert. And then
Yeah,
I
they
guess
thought Todd Rundgren was their dad.
No, you are right. God, you are good. Hey, this guy's
I
good.
know my stuff.
This guy's really good. Give him a round of applause. This guy's really fucking good.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
The student has become the master.
Right. Miyagi-san. This is a weird one. Look at Eddie Murphy and his brother.
Oh, Charlie, rest in peace.
Oh, he died, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
They
what
never
happened
found
to
the murderer.
him?
He was
What
brutally
happened?
murdered.
No, he wasn't, really?
No, he wasn't. But wouldn't that be more interesting to talk about?
You fucking idiot. Oh my God. You're sitting there telling everybody Eddie Murphy's brother's dead. No, it's not funny. Don't laugh at him. Don't applaud it. It's rude. It's rude, and I won't stand for it on my podcast.
Slander.
You are correct, sir. All right. My last sibling, I wanted to show you. This one's kind of weird. Look, Brad Pitt and his brother.
Oh, okay.
So here's the trick to me. That's what I was gonna say. I knew you would say that, and you are correct. He totally looks like Zach Braff.
Ooh, that's weird.
It's not Zach Braff, dude.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I'm glad you removed it. I don't want to see that again.
So I want to real quick talk about this because it's the thing, the current event, and it's all these bitches going up on the space thing. Remember the rocket?
I don't know why they're bitches. They could just be female.
But look, it's like Gayle King, Oprah's bestie, right?
Yeah.
And then you got fucking Katy Perry. Okay.
Don't you say anything bad about Katy Perry.
That, I think, is Laura Sanchez from the LA News down in Hollywood. That's exactly who that
Sanchez, yeah.
So I was looking through and I was looking at all the ladies that are going up, and I'm like, yeah, let them go. Let them go up there.
Okay.
See if they come back.
Okay.
This has been done before. Do you remember who did it? William Shatner, of course. He boldly went where no man had ever gone before.
Yeah.
Do you remember my Star Trek joke? What did Spock find in the toilet?
I don't know.
The captain's log.
Oh, you found it?
I can't believe you didn't remember that. Oh, where is it? Let me see. Oh, jeez, there's the captain's log. What does toilet paper?
Beer and balls. That would be like a penis poop.
Actually, I think
penis.
Do you still have an audience? You still got Aunt Wendy and Lee sitting there?
I still got Lee here.
Okay, Lee. What does the USS Enterprise and toilet paper have in common?
What?
She says what?
God, she didn't even do the Jeopardy ding 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 ding.
No, she needs answers. She needs them quick.
She's cracking up. I love her. The answer is they both circle your anus looking for Klingons. You are correct.
Oh, those Klingons, they are trouble.
I love the Star Trek jokes. I always throw them at people.
Klingons are what are Klingons? Thank you for proposing the answer correctly.
They're those little things of poop that get caught in your butt hair and
it
little
was
nugs.
the question. It was the appropriate way to answer.
Like bad weed or something. You're talking some shit tonight. This podcast is going to go through the roof. They're going to be like 5,000 viewers.
I'll take Klingons for 500.
So this is interesting. In pop news, Selena Gomez put this on her Instagram, and it says he has a really big, and she's talking about her boyfriend. She accidentally gives fans a peek into Benny Blanco's sex life with an intimate item. Fans couldn't help but notice an intimate item sitting in the background of this picture of the singer shared on Instagram. I know. I can't see it either.
I need to know.
So Matt's looking forward like he's trying to read the screen. I just blew mine up. Let me see.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a phallic symbol of some kind.
Right.
Behind her on the ledge. I can't see what it is.
Is it a fleshlight? What is it?
I think it is. I think it's something. Hey, if you guys know, tell us. We need to know. We need to know. We need to know. And here's the other thing. Who the hell is Benny Blanco? I never even heard of this guy until she decided
to. He's like a super famous songwriter, producer. Yeah.
Really?
Like I'm telling you, I can't name what's the song with Justin Bieber? Sorry or something like that. Like I don't listen to him too much, but it's a good song.
Bieber's a mess right now. Have you seen him? The poor guy. He's like telling Haley to stop touching him, leave me alone. He's running around looking like a homeless guy. I think he's losing his shit. I'm not sure what's going on.
I think it's because Diddy's locked up and he spent some time with Diddy, and
No, Diddy fucked him up. That's what they're saying. But
yeah.
he was doing great though. All religious. He did the Peaches song. I like the Peaches song. Peaches song was cool.
Yeah, sure.
Making the bread in the kitchen or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember? I don't know if it was last year or the year before. They tried to have this music festival, the Fly Festival. They're trying to do it again. It's number 2. Fate
the
is
answer
uncertain.
was KY Jelly. Leanne found it.
Did she?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. She zoomed in. It's KY.
Okay, let's go back, you guys, because now that you're telling me. Okay, let me go back.
You're able to
blow my screen up.
It's a very large bottle, by the way.
Oh my God, I'll be damned. I see it right there. It says KY Jelly.
That's right.
God damn. All right, Selena. Her and Benny Blanco.
You're supposed to be in charge of news and weather. Where are you getting that from?
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't even know that happened, and I saw that today. I'm like, what the hell? Hey, so I want you to tell the folks at home about this little game book you have. We're going to mess around with it when I come up. Madam, show us what you got.
So I have a book called Creative Cursing. How it works is you open up the book and there's several little flaps here, and you just pick one side and you pick the other and you see what you come up with. And the first thing we come up with is nipple jockey.
Nipple jockey.
Right.
Now, what would a nipple jockey be?
Somebody that rides nipples. They're very tiny, maybe.
How do you ride a nipple, Matt? Come on.
I should have got the right nipple. Now, this is Twat Glob. So
Twat Glob.
Yeah.
I love it.
Flip
but
it
wait,
up.
how does it work? How do you do you have to flip?
It's kind of like a Rolodex, right? We're just gonna do a little flip here.
Oh, I just saw a meat packet or something.
Yeah, so this is mouth beater.
Mouth beater.
Yeah, see, it's almost kind of like songwriting, right? You throw some words out there and see what kind of words
out rhyme, all that kind of bullshit.
We just came up with feces slime. So
geez, that's not good.
Very educational. We've got here. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. Schlong tickler.
Schlong tickler. Everybody needs a schlong tickler.
I don't want to give away all the good ones. So
no, absolutely not.
Next time.
We will mess with that some more when I come up.
So the reason I have this book is somebody left it on the table in the yard office at work, and I said, "What is this?" And the first one I flipped and the first one I flipped on said diaper boner.
Diaper boner. That would have caught my eye. I would have been like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, so my friend that was with me, we thought it was hilarious, and that was years ago. And to this day, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, diaper boner? You going to work today?" Blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, why is it my nickname just because I flipped the thing and it came up on diaper boner? I needed the book.
Hey, that's a good name for a band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Diaper Boner.
Right.
I do a good crowd with my voice, don't
it? Actually, one more time, please.
You want?
Yeah. Okay. Do you need an inhaler? Are you okay? Yeah. But it was some real crowd there.
It was a good crowd.
Real good crowd. Good turnout.
This noise right here. That's what I do to my friends. What?
You started that with me years ago.
No, I know, and I've done it with everybody. But my friends Michael and Alexandria that moved out to Idaho and had like 3 kids, they'll call us randomly, or they'll send a message randomly on my phone, and both of them will be off. Dude. And we know exactly what they're doing.
You know what? I'm so glad that you and I got away from that we used to do to each other like 20 years ago was the 3 a.m. phone call when one of us was super hammered. And of course, the other person wouldn't answer the phone, but you'd wake up in the morning to this voice like, "What are you doing? Stupid fucking drunk."
I know you remember when I lived behind Centennial Hall in Hayward.
Oh, good place.
And your drunk ass was banging on my apartment door and wouldn't go away. And I was there with someone, and I was like, I wouldn't answer. And you're all, come on, Choco, open the door.
Yeah. And that was like Seinfeld, because you had to buzz me up, and I'm like, I know you're not alone. I don't care.
Yeah, come on.
To crash. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I told this story in the Confessions of a Hollywood Bodyguard, but when I lived at the Hollywood apartment you used to come to, there was a Russian lady and her husband and a kid, and I'd let the kid borrow a couple of movies because I got free demos from Tower Records.
Yeah, those are the best.
Anyway, she comes knocking on my door one day, and she was like, and I've told this before, she was like, my husband says he wants you to have this shirt for being nice to my son. And I go, I was busy doing work for Tower on my computer. And I go, okay, I'll take it. It's just a normal button-up white long sleeve dress shirt. I have a million of them, right? Used to wear suits. So I'm like, thank you. So I keep it. And like 3 days later, you guys, I swear to God, this actually happened. She's like, she knocks on the door again. Like, oh, hey, Mrs. whatever Russian lady. And she goes, my husband says you have to pay for the shirt if you want to keep it. And I go, I don't want the shirt. I never wanted the shirt. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld. Go away.
Right. It's the puppy shirt.
Fucking weird. No, the puppy. No, it wasn't a puppy shirt, but I just thought that was so weird. She made me food a couple times, and it was like.
But that's not the first time you've been in a situation like that.
No,
because you stayed with me for a short period of time, and a friend of mine came over and was like, I want to give you a gift.
Are you going to bring it up? Are you going to bring up sneaky beer and digestive crackers?
Yeah. But my friend says, no, I want to give you a gift, man. I love you. You got to take this DVD box set. This is amazing. You got to check this out.
Yeah.
Woke you up and said, hey, I'm going to need that box set back.
I'm going to need that box set back that I gave to you earlier. That was fucked up. Wasn't it Batman or something?
No, I think it was like Sons of Anarchy or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is funny that you brought that up because me and Dalton were just laughing about so my cousin Shannon dated this guy for a little bit. She brings him to Matt's house when we lived with him. And his contribution to the party night, he's all, hey, everybody, I brought digestive crackers and sneaky beer. And we're like,
oh, I remember that, dude.
What the fuck is digestive crackers and sneaky beer? Do you remember? And he explained, no, it's sneaky, man. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
And the only person who would say something like that is Steve.
Right. Oh, Steve.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I totally remember. But now you're making me kind of want to have Steve on here at some point.
Oh, we got to get Steve on for sure. I kind of miss Stevie Boy. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Because he's got some stories, you know?
Yeah, especially in Hollywood. Dude, every time I took that guy out when I was, hey, you guys, I was kind of a player in Hollywood for a little bit. I was having fun. And I take my cousin Steve out and ask Matt. We go to the Saddle Ranch up on Sunset or something. Yeah. I'd go to the bathroom and come out and the bouncers are kicking him out. And I'd be like, what happened between 2 minutes of us getting a table? Yeah. And Steve would always be like, yeah, I'll kick his ass. I'm squirrely. Yeah. I'm squirrely.
That's always been his defense, is that he's squirrely. And I don't
He's not squirrely. He's fucking small.
I don't know what that means.
You're small.
Yeah, he's quick to get out of. Yeah, what does that mean?
No, definitely the three of us on a podcast would be pretty hilarious.
Right.
In fact, right now, if I was at your house sitting next to you and Steve was there too, and we were doing this thing, in the background behind you, we'd see Steve all.
Oh, no. That's incorrect because Steve is.
No, you're right. He stays up, huh?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, my cousin Steve stays up. He'll be in the kitchen at 6 a.m.
Lingering through you can hear him lingering through the halls at night. It's like a ghost. There's like chains clanking for some reason.
We love you, Steve. Love you, cousin. We really do. Matt, very funny podcast. Love you. Can't wait to come up and do it in the bar with you. Stay on the line here. Don't go anywhere as we queue out because I want to talk to you about something. But what episode did I say it was? 31. Episode 31. Chucko and Matt.
Or 32.
I don't know, dude. There was a couple of them. I looked back and I'm like, I skipped like 2. It went from 19 to.
On my end, it says episode 32.
Does it?
Yeah,
No, that's because I put it on already. Wait, did I
Okay.
say 31?
you did.
Wow. This is why we can't use the old reg clips. You've got to get new modern ones, and you won't be so fucked up when you're trying to do it. This is We've Got to Talk About It. I'm Choco, and that's Matto. We'll see you soon. Have a great week, everybody. Hilarious.